Your one click on the subscribe button makes a huge difference. Thank you for your kind support.
At 79 years old, Daniella Weiss stands as one of the most significant figures in Israel's settlement movement, a woman Theroux describes as the godmother of settler activity in the West Bank. Throughout the documentary, we witness her remarkable influence and uncompromising vision for what she calls the heart of Judea. Weiss first appears at a gathering near the Gaza border, where settlers are holding workshops offering practical advice on establishing new Jewish outposts in Gaza. When Theroux attempts to interview her, she initially brushes him off, saying, "No, not now," before eventually sharing her perspective. We, the settlement movement, organized this event in order to enhance the practical idea of establishing Jewish settlements in the entire Gaza Strip, she explains with unwavering confidence. Her roots in the settlement movement run deep. Born to parents who came from Poland, her mother specifically from Warsaw, they invested fortunes in the belief that someday there would be a Jewish state. With their vision and their faith, I continue to expand Israel and to be as close as possible to the Promised Land. She tells Theroux during a visit to her home in Kedumim, a settlement that grew from the trailers shown in archival footage where a younger Weiss declared, "I want to see big cities here, like a city of 2 million people." What makes Weiss particularly notable is not just her longevity in the movement but her claimed influence on Israeli politics. When asked about her involvement in establishing settlements, she responds matter-of-factly, "Almost everyone." This represents 50 years of activity, half a century of working to expand Jewish presence in territories that international law considers occupied. 50 years that I do what I do today, she emphasizes. Her relationship with the Israeli government appears complex. Theroux notes that she's viewed by others in power as a dangerous extremist, yet Weiss herself claims significant political influence. When asked directly if she can call Prime Minister Netanyahu, she chuckles and says, "No, I call his aides." She presents herself not as someone who forces the government's hand, but as someone who enables it. "We do not force a government. We do for governments what they cannot do for themselves." This dynamic becomes clearer when discussing Gaza resettlement plans. "Even if you take Netanyahu now, he is very happy with what we do here and also about our plans to build Jewish communities in Gaza," she claims. "He is happy about it, but he cannot say it. He says the opposite. It's not realistic." Good. We will make it realistic. In her view, settlers aren't opposing the government but helping it by providing the courage, the ability, the public support, the political support. Weiss's approach reveals a sophisticated understanding of political maneuvering. She doesn't see her work as confrontation with the state but as laying groundwork that allows officials to later claim these territories. This strategy has proven effective over decades, as settlements that began as small outposts have gradually gained official recognition. One dramatic moment in the documentary illustrates her boldness. During a convoy near Gaza with rabbis, military escort, and Theroux's crew, she suddenly peeled away and made a sprint for the border of Gaza, according to the filmmaker's description. When intercepted and asked about this maneuver, she laughingly admits, "I enjoyed it so much," explaining that she wanted to show the rabbis that Gaza is not something beyond reach. Her vision extends beyond just territorial expansion. Weiss speaks openly about wanting Palestinians to leave these territories. "We very much encourage and enable the population in Gaza to go to other countries. You will witness how Jews go to Gaza and Arabs disappear from Gaza. They lost the right to stay in this holy place." When pressed about international law, which considers transferring civilian populations into occupied territory a war crime, she dismisses these concerns with humor. "What I do here is a war crime, and you're cooperating with the person who committed war crimes?" Followed by laughter and the dismissal. "It's a light felony." Despite accusations from Ronen Bar, the head of Israel's security service, who warned Netanyahu about Jewish terror by violent settlers, Weiss vehemently denies any connection to extremism. "The reason Ronen Bar says that I'm extremist has nothing to do with terror," she insists. "Whatever I represent threatens his peaceful, secular life. I have nothing to do with terror." When confronted with the reality of Palestinian suffering and settler violence, Weiss categorically denies its existence. There is no such thing as settler violence. She argues that settlers do not wake up in the morning or do not go and wait for sundown to attack, adding, "Why should we wake up in the morning and think about violence? Why? Our life is good." In perhaps the most revealing exchange, Theroux challenges her apparent lack of concern for Palestinians in Beitah, a town visible from the hilltop where they stand. "I don't think about Beitah," she states. When Theroux suggests this mindset seems sociopathic, she laughs and responds, "No, not at all. This is normal. To my children, I give everything because the normal thing for me is to pray for my own people." Her influence on younger generations appears significant. "I have a lot of influence, much more than Ronan Bar has," she boasts, specifically mentioning her impact on the young generation that is growing in Israel. The documentary shows her receiving warm greetings from supporters and speaking confidently at settlement gatherings. Weiss represents a powerful continuity in the settlement movement, connecting its early days to its current expansion. She claims October 7th naturally made people more receptive to the idea of the Great Israel, while acknowledging that implementing Jewish settlements in Gaza is a very difficult step that demands a lot of work. Despite international criticism, Weiss remains unmoved in her conviction. In the documentary's final assessment, Theroux describes her as promoting an extreme ideology delivered with a smile, a formidable figure whose vision for territorial expansion shows no sign of abating. Her decades-long influence on Israel's settlement policy, alongside her connections to government officials and ability to inspire younger settlers, makes Daniella Weiss perhaps the most consequential individual voice in a movement that continues to reshape the geopolitical landscape of the region.